Every day, domestic, commercial, and industrial activities generate millions of gallons of wastewater that must be moved through a city's infrastructure. Despite its reputation, sewage is approximately 99.9% pure water. The entire engineering challenge of wastewater management lives within the remaining 0.1%. This fraction contains a dense mix of organic matter, suspended solids, nutrients, and microorganisms, which engineers categorize as physical, chemical, and biological characteristics. Neutralizing these specific impurities is the central problem of environmental engineering. Designing a sewer requires navigating complex structural and material variables that go far beyond calculating basic hydraulic volumes. Historical infrastructure projects reflect this complexity, utilizing massive, specialized structural interventions to contain and transport the waste. Standard pipes often fail because sewage is a chemically reactive, biologically active matrix that shifts state as it travels through the network. To prevent system failure, engineers must exhaustively map the physical, chemical, and biological vectors of the wastewater before construction begins. Characterizing these specific traits is the mandatory first step in preventing the premature degradation of the city's underground assets. Characterization begins with the physical properties. Fresh domestic sewage is typically light gray and maintains a temperature between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius, notably warmer than standard drinking water. This heat acts as a catalyst, accelerating the biological decomposition of the waste inside the pipe. Turbidity, or the visual cloudiness of the water, indicates the concentration of physical materials like organic debris and silt. Larger suspended solids can settle out through physical sedimentation, but dissolved solids, like salts and minerals, remain in the fluid and require complex chemical treatment to remove. Isolating these physical solids is an immediate priority, as they will settle and clog the network if flow velocities are not strictly maintained. Beyond the physical solids, engineers must quantify the invisible chemical load to determine the overall strength of the sewage. This requires rigorous laboratory testing to establish diagnostic benchmarks for the wastewater. The primary benchmark is biochemical oxygen demand, or BOD. For domestic waste, this typically ranges between 200 and 300 milligrams per liter. BOD measures the specific amount of dissolved oxygen that bacteria require to consume the organic waste present in a sample. A secondary metric, chemical oxygen demand, or COD, usually measures higher, between 400 and 600 milligrams per liter. This comparison shows a typical BOD value of 250 milligrams per liter against a COD value of 500. COD represents the oxygen needed to chemically oxidize everything in the water, including inorganic substances that microorganisms cannot digest. These values dictate the aeration requirements and physical size of the downstream biological treatment plants. Most treatment processes rely on a stable pH between 6.5 and 8.5. Extremes on either side will kill the beneficial bacteria needed to process the waste. Human waste and detergents also introduce a heavy load of nitrogen and phosphorus into the system. If discharged untreated, these nutrients cause eutrophication, a process where explosive algae growth suffocates natural water bodies. This layer of chemical foam demonstrates the ecological stakes of nutrient pollution when treatment systems are bypassed or overwhelmed. This chemical load determines both the difficulty of the treatment process and the severity of the environmental impact if the system fails. Sewage functions as a living ecosystem of bacteria, viruses, and pathogens. In the initial aerobic phase, bacteria consume organic matter and rapidly deplete the water's dissolved oxygen. As these microscopic organisms multiply and swarm the debris, the oxygen levels in the fluid drop rapidly toward zero. Once the oxygen is exhausted, the fluid becomes stagnant, and anaerobic bacteria take over the decomposition process. This anaerobic shift causes the sewage to turn black and begin emitting toxic gases. Hydrogen sulfide is the primary byproduct here, creating the distinct rotten egg odor associated with stagnant waste. Managing this biological timeline is critical. If transport is delayed, fresh sewage transforms into a toxic, gas-emitting hazard before it can be treated. The physical, chemical, and biological traits of wastewater form a chain reaction that directly attacks the infrastructure designed to contain it. Engineers must maintain specific pipe slopes to ensure flow velocities remain high enough to keep suspended solids from settling and blocking the line. Simultaneously, hydrogen sulfide gas from stagnant areas rises and mixes with moisture on the pipe ceiling. This creates a corrosive acid that eats through concrete structural walls. The pathogen load and BOD levels then dictate the massive scale of the aeration and treatment tanks required at the final destination. The engineering process is only complete when the pollutants are neutralized and the water can be safely returned to the environment. These systems are not simple drains. They are engineered vessels built to manage a corrosive and evolving chemical matrix. We have followed the 0.1% of impurities from physical solids to corrosive anaerobic gases. Understanding this composition leads to the next major question. How do cities actually route millions of gallons of this fluid through their underground networks? Urban planning typically utilizes one of three architectural solutions: combined sewer systems, separate systems, or partially separate hybrid layouts. Modern cities have a strong preference for the separate model to better manage the chemical challenges inherent in modern wastewater. Decoding the nature of sewage is the mandatory prerequisite for building the cities that produce it.